What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the High Value Agent Podcast, where we inspire people to create a better life through real estate. And I'm excited about this one because I got a good friend of mine, a business partner, who's been on the podcast before. And actually, if you look at the history of videos of whether it's High Value Agent or Silverline Real Estate Group, he's been featured on multiple videos breaking down how he built his business, things that he would teach agents, really how to be a great agent overall. And so he's back. And the reason why I wanted Scott to be back on this podcast episode is because I know there's a lot of people right now that are in the business and they're struggling. Okay. And what I want to do is make sure that myself, alongside somebody that I trust, somebody that understands, he's in the trenches, to share a message to get people back on track. Okay. So I'm joined today with my man, Scott Foltz. Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I love my life. And I'm excited again about this message that we're going to share. So we'll unpack it, man. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
All right. So for my agents out there, we are currently in the fourth quarter, and we know what typically happens. Okay. Some of us could be having a great year up to this point, but then something just like that changes. And we as agents, I would say we're just so predictable. Like, it's so predictable that if you start lowering the amount of time that you invest in your business every single day, like money making activities, or you don't commit to having a strong mindset to bring your A game every day, then you're going to experience a change in your business in the fourth quarter. The unfortunate part is not only are you going to feel it in the fourth quarter, but you're going to also feel it in the first quarter of the new year. So 1 month, 1 quarter can make you the income that you want for the next few months or few quarters. And for some reason, we as agents around this time of year, because we have patterns based on the seasons, or I don't know, we become complacent. We stop investing our time in doing the work that we were doing in the summertime. For some reason, we get to having this organic surge of business and this influx from the summer buyers and sellers. And then when fall or winter time comes, we get hit with some type of something and we suffer. And then some of us even have to go get another job. And I know some agents that had to do that due to the lack of income. So this is very common in our industry, which is why we have a very high failure rate in our industry. Okay. Now, before I throw it to you, Scott, I do want to say this for the audience. The failure rate in real estate has nothing to do with a person's ability to succeed as a real estate professional. I believe the failure rate in real estate has a lot to do with the environment and the leadership that these agents have or don't have. Because if the agents who are struggling right now do not have any accountability in their life, or they're not around other people that are able to continue on with that strong mindset, keep doing the things that they need to do, then, and when I say the things that they need to do, lead generating, prospecting, follow-up, showing up, that lack of accountability is what causes the failure more than a lack of ability. So I want to set it up that way. Like, A, this is a common thing we see every year. Up and down, up and down. B, you have everything you need to be successful already. You could be lacking leadership or environment, which is the accountability to help you sustain what you've been doing up to this point that got you to success up to this point. Okay, cool. So let's talk about like some advice we would give to those struggling agents. And Scott, I'm gonna throw it over to you, man. What are some things you will say?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you mentioned just keep doing the right things. We're in a very momentum based career where, like you had mentioned, if you take your foot off the gas for a month, 2 months, a quarter, it's not just those times that are going to be affected. It's upcoming month, 2 months, or quarter.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of agents, I would go so far to say they even design their calendar that way. Whether they're not doing it intentionally to have a bad first quarter, they're doing it because, I'll use myself as an example because that's the best example I've got. My best year, where I was doing more than one a week closings, I thought at the end of the last quarter, like, man, I'm good. Like every time we got together and had a meeting, I was raising my goal because I had met it. And so then I took my foot off the gas and I thought I'm going to enjoy the holidays with my family and I'm going to have a good time and I'm going to spend this money. And man, I think the following year was my lowest production, even including my first year. I think it was probably at or below my first year level. So I think a lot of agents subconsciously even set themselves up for that roller coaster. When you, like you said, everyone has the ability. The simplest things are what's going to move the needle. Yet we have this entitlement mindset. I think we have all these things working against us. We see our colleagues taking time off. And so we feel entitled. Well, my wife's a teacher. I would love to take 2 or 3 weeks off. My kids, Christmas break coming up, I would love to be able to hang out with them that whole time. But that is not going to serve me well to start next year. And then I'm going to be stressed and I'm not going to enjoy the time that I'm with them. So it is just such a simple thing. We all have the ability. It's just, we're just not doing it.
That's good. Yeah. Very, very good. Well said. I would say, like, some of us could be listening to this and you're like, well, I'm on pace to hit my goals for 2025, right? Some of you guys are listening and you're like, yeah, I'm definitely not on pace to hit my goals. And again, it's about the investment that you're making in your business on a daily basis. And it doesn't mean you can't ever have days off, though. So me and Scott will always make it clear that you can design your month, your week, or days to where you don't work. The key is what you did leading up to those off days, right?
Yes.
And so we're not saying you can't ever take a day off or a week off or 2 weeks off or a month off even. Depends on what you've built up to that point.
Well, I know that, for instance, our 2026 business planning meeting, it's like 3 weeks. I know that's going to be one of the big conversations that we have is get your calendars out. How many days off do you want to take? And it's not just about, that's only half the equation. Like, here's how much time I want to take off. Okay, statistically, what does that mean you have to do the days you're working? And to have a plan is going to make or break you.
Very, very, yeah, we're going to unpack that because the plan is one thing, right? Like, that's very important. You got to have a GPS. You got to have that. What I find a lot of people struggling is something that starts with up here. It's the mindset. And we've been talking about that a lot more in our office, haven't we, Scott? We've been talking about the foundation to growth is starting with the correct mindset. This is important because we as entrepreneurs and business operators, by the way, if you don't see yourself as that type of person, then that could literally be all you need to take away from this podcast episode. Is like, you are an entrepreneur and you need to own your business. Okay.
I think a lot of people think their brokerage is the business owner. And you have to, you might be licensed under some other brokerage, but you are the business owner. Every agent is their own business owner. And if you don't claim that and use that.
Yeah. That comes with a sense of, again, the sense of ownership is important because if you have that, I think we find energy to invest more in our business because it's our
responsibility,
business.
Everything.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, considering the fact that we are business owners, and Scott and I are business partners. He owns his business, his personal business. I own the Silverline Real Estate Group team, and together we are partners together in this, which is beautiful because now we are both working. The more he grows, the more the company grows, right? So it's a good thing. However, through that, because I'm human, he's human, and you're human, we have shit. Yeah, we have shit pop up in our life that will throw us off track. 100%. All of us will. Okay. We can't allow that to mentally just like take us off. And then we feel like we can't catch up. Okay. So what we tend to do is we lose focus on the goal. And then some people will even claim that it's no longer important. Right? We just accepted failure for the year or for that quarter or for that month, whatever. Now, some of us are able to, when we fall off the horse, find a way, because maybe we're a little more ambitious, find a way to motivate ourselves to get back on the horse and working back towards that goal. What is that? That's mindset, right? Like, it's finding a way. Like, mental fortitude is not ever feeling emotions or not ever feeling like you're beat down. It's not allowing that to take you off your path for longer than a day. Does that make sense, y'all? Right. Very, very, very important. Mental fortitude is not about, oh, I don't cry, or I don't feel like everything has to be perfect. Or if it goes bad, I don't have emotions. And so I'm mentally strong. No, mentally strong, because you need this, right, Scott? You need
Absolutely.
to have mental strength to be able to operate, especially in the fourth quarter, to push through and work your way into momentum. So then your next year is off to a great start. Scott, I want you to kind of give me your perspective on the mindset.
Well, I would even argue that the mindset is not necessarily, it can be, and it should probably start this way, but it's not as much, man, I just love to sell houses. I just want to sell as many houses as possible. I mean, that's cool, and that might get you a good year, a couple good years, whatever. But I've realized that it has to go deeper than that, because
Mm,
although I've always called myself a people person, I love talking to people, I love helping people, I have a teaching degree, like all that stuff is good. But I've realized this year with health that, and being surrounded by people, a few weeks ago when we were at Lake Tahoe, high functioning agents and business owners and team leaders and all of that. But it's just a different level, and it's got to be deeper than just, I love to sell houses, I love to go look at houses. With my health, again, I'm realizing that I need to be around for my family, and that means getting my health stuff taken care of. That means taking better care of myself, because it's all connected. You can't separate your home life and your business life. It's all connected. And
mm,
so if you don't have it going on in one area, it's going to detract from the other areas. And I've realized this year that I want my health and my well-being to supersede everything else, because I know that will carry my business. So I've kind of taken on, it's like a newer Gary Keller's book, the one thing, like, you've got to have something. And paying off debt, I want to make a lot of money because I have a lot of debt. Like, that
mm.
may kick you in the butt a little bit to get started or whatever, but it just has to be bigger than that. Mindset is such a huge, higher level thing than what we think it is. I think our mindset is pretty low. Our estimation of what it is
Yeah,
is weak, and it needs to be. The people that are going to be carried the furthest by their mindset are the ones that are thinking higher.
so true. Yeah. What we want you guys to take away from this is getting on track, getting out of a slump, feeling good about your business comes with feeling good about your life. they, like Scott mentioned, there is no really work life. It's all one, right? There is, some people may say work life balance. Some people may feel right now that if they're investing more in their business, then it's taking away from their life, the personal life. And it's just not real. What I would support you guys to really push for is having work life rhythm, getting into a rhythm. And again, we'll unpack what that looks like in a more tactical way. But again, I want to stay on mindset a little longer, because if you don't get this, considering 80 to 90% of winning in life, and again, this includes business, is psychology.
Mhm.
10 to 20% is tactical. If you don't get the foundation, then there's no point of talking about nothing else, right? I want us all to accept something. Shit in your life is going to show up, and it's going to just fuck up the mood you're in. It's just the way it is. How many times have you had a plan and it went perfect? Literally, we are met with challenges on a daily basis. Here's the key. Those challenges, or those things that knock you off your path, those storms, how long do you allow that to change your behavior? Like some people, they one thing happens and then they're gone. Like some people, they get hit with something and they're down for months. And then some people are able to bounce back the next day. And as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, bouncing back the next day is extremely important. You got to find out, where do you fall? Where are you? Are you typically, I get hit with something, I'm gone for a week, you don't see it, you don't hear from me? Are you a few months guy or girl? Or are you able to have more tolerance, more fortitude, more resilience, and the ability to adapt to get back on track? Okay. So I want you to just really think about that. Something else about mindset is emotional maturity, very important, because this is what we're talking about, right? Maturity isn't exactly how you feel, but it's how you act when you don't feel like, when things aren't going your way, right? So just, I want you guys to accept this. Pain in your life is inevitable. It's going to happen. Pain is going to show up in your life. It's going to happen. Suffering, though, that's an option. If you decide that you're going to suffer and sit in that shit for longer than a day, you decided to do that. Oh, client, this deal's falling apart, and oh my God, my whole day's ruined. This deal's gone. The client's being rough. Oh man, I don't want to prospect for the rest of the day. Like, you're sitting in that for longer than you need to. Oh, this person I called, I was prospecting and they cussed me out. Now I don't want to make my next call. Like, you're deciding to suffer and sit in that and to take you off your path. So you don't have to like what is happening to you or the slump that you're in, and that's great. Like, you want something better. You need to then make a decision. Stop pretending that everything has to be perfect in your life for you to grow or for you to make progress in your life, because that's not going to happen. I want you to embrace the challenge, embrace the suck, embrace the pain, and understand this is an opportunity for me to grow through this. Because there are things that have happened in your life. It could be business, it could be whatever. And that happened 5 years ago. You could probably right now think about something that happened 5 years ago that really was traumatizing. And if it happened to you today, you would smile and laugh at it, because you now have the fortitude, because you've been through that specific scenario. You now have that skill set today to move past it. Right, Scott? Like, what would
I
you say on
think,
it?
yeah. I mean, I think when we talk about emotional intelligence, people may take that as us saying you can't be emotional, you can't have emotions. And that's not it at all. I mean, someone dies close to you, you're going to be emotional about it, but you are in 100% control of your actions
Yep.
following that. And
Yep.
and it's okay to take time and all of that, but you, like you said, you can't play the victim uh, for very long at all, because then it will just snowball, and then now that situation, which nobody had any control over, now that's controlling your life and your income and your family's well-being. So deal with it, and start taking the right steps.
Yeah. Cry. Hey, cry. Get it out. Right.
Cry it out,
Talk to
hug
somebody.
it out. Yeah.
Hug it out. Like whatever it is, just don't stay in that for weeks.
Yep.
Like if you let it out, be emotional, do your thing. The key is how long do you stay there? That's the key. That's what I want to get across to you. Because I know agents right now, and Scott does too, because we talk to them and we love them and we try to support them. And we see the opportunities that are in front of them. And if they were to just reach out, they would grab a new sense of fulfillment, a new feeling in their business, and obviously a new income level and just overall growth. They're literally in arm's reach. We talk to these people every single day. And we are also those people at times, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, just being able to snap out of that and move forward, because then we can get into the tactical stuff that's going to help you grow. Okay. But it's this part first, because all of us have been through shit this year where it's like, man, I was feeling good. And then just like that, I'm not feeling good no more. I'm not feeling good no more. Cool. Talk it out, cry it out, but we got to get back on the horse. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we were out at Tahoe, I remember one of the speakers saying, "We don't have a call problem. We don't have a conversation problem. We have a
Yeah.
mindset problem."
Yeah.
And we know the tactical stuff to do. It's just our mindset keeps letting us kick that can down the road, and keep putting it off. We know what to do. So it's purely just the mindset of, "We'll do it. Let's just do it."
Yep.
And that
Yep.
solves a lot of the problems. It doesn't necessarily solve the emotional problem, but it sure solves a lot of other problems.
Yeah. And I would even say it solves the emotional.
It will work itself out for sure.
Yeah. I think it works itself out, right? Because
Yeah.
you feel more empowered because you took control. You
Yeah.
didn't allow shit to keep you off pace, off your path. So now it's like nobody can stop me because I control my actions.
Hmm.
And here's a step further. I control my emotions and my thoughts. Ooh, once you are able to get there, powerful. I'm not saying you won't ever have negative thoughts. No, we are wired to be more negative thinkers.
Hmm.
Like that's okay. But what I'm saying is you'll develop a skill set that will allow you again to pivot quicker. Right? Pivot quicker. All right. So before we pivot in the conversation, just real quick, y'all, please. I know this. Oh, this is some woo-woo stuff. I hope we didn't lose some of y'all. I'm just trying to help you, and Scott's trying to help you understand. It starts here. This is an emotional intelligence problem. This is a lack of personal development problem. That is why you are in your slump right now. We all know what to do, but why do we not do it? That's a personal development, emotional maturity problem. And that's what we're talking about. Now, real quick, to get out of that slump as far as mindset, to give you the energy that you need to do your thing, to get back on the horse, again, talk to somebody that you trust. But here's the key. You need to talk to somebody who has what you want. That's the part. Don't talk to, and again, I love our families. I love my family. Scott loves his family dearly. But if they don't have what you want, then don't take any advice or don't really, again, you can hear them out, but be careful because typically your family, they want what's best for you, but they don't really know what you need, the medicine that you need. They don't have that to give you. They don't have that. Most of them don't. Talk to somebody who you know is very strong emotionally, has what you have, what you want. That's the person you talk to. If you're
Yeah.
blessed enough to have somebody like that in your life.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think when we're faced with stuff, we know exactly the type of person that we're going to. If they're going to be the type of person that, oh yeah, you're so right. Yeah, oh, you are so
Yeah.
right. Or if they're going to spit the game, the fire, like here's the medicine. We know people.
Yep.
There's people we go to that are going to give us the sugar, and then there's people that are going to give us the medicine, and
That's
we
so good.
know.
There we go. Hey, mic drop. That's all. Okay. We're good there. All right. Cool. Let's get real quick into tactical. Let's get into some tactical things that could really help you guys get back on track. Okay. Scott, do you have something in mind?
Yeah, man. Nike said it. Just do it. No,
Let's do it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got a plan. You just we already know what to do. I know my team. We've been trained and trained and trained on what to do. We have every statistic known to man to back it up, and we still choose not to do it at times. And you just have to get on the phone. Like you've said 80 times, no transaction has ever been begun that didn't start with a conversation. So
Yeah.
you just have to talk to people, and we see, like I said, the statistics that we have, which statistics are crucial. Like if you don't, if you're trying to lose weight, you better be keeping track of everything you eat. In an app or on paper, you've got to know what's going on, and we know it's just do that stuff, do, and it needs to start with conversations.
Yeah.
Then once you feel like you're having enough conversations, have some more, and then figure out who you're talking to, and you know
Hmm.
organize who you're talking to better. And but it has to start there.
Yeah. That's so good.
Keep
There's a
it
word that
simple.
yeah, it is. It's that simple. There is a word that you said that I actually want to. It just sparked a thought in my mind. You said organize. I would say stop what you're doing and organize everything. So, and by the way, when I say everything, I'm talking about like
Your car.
organize your leads, organize your follow up, organize your entire database. Hell, go organize your closet, organize your room, organize your car. Like get everything that you own organized, and you're going to just feel so much better. Now we're taking a step into ah, I feel better now. I feel better. Cool. Now we've done that. Be intentional. Because and let's take a step back. Organize your schedule. And then let's be intentional. Like, let's make sure that with our schedule, because again, we're entrepreneurs, we're business operators, so we don't have bosses, right? Your schedule needs to step into the I'm the boss. Okay. That is your schedule telling you what you need to do on a daily basis. Organize that as well. And then you just got to follow it. Like Scott said, you just got to execute. Okay. I would highly recommend, because Scott brought up health, in your schedule. What do you do before getting to the office? If you even go to the office, that's another thing. If you don't have an office to go to, it is what it is. I mean, that's a harder fix, right? I do believe certain offices that have strong positive environments can uplift you. They can. So if you're blessed to have that, show up to the office. Okay. But before you go to the office, what is your morning ritual? What do you do? What time do you wake up? What do you do that fills your cup, that gets your mind in the right space to conquer. Like, what are some things, Scott, somebody could do before getting into the office? What could somebody do to get themselves prepped and ready to make those calls?
Yeah, just getting your heart moving. I heard, gosh, I wish I could remember his name because he's written some books and does podcasts that I really need to listen to, many health related. But he said, get outside without your sunglasses and look at the sun when it's coming up. Don't stare at it. Don't do that, but look at it, because the absorption of the sun, like the vitamin D or whatever, all that will start your day off, and it's a natural energy boost, and just
Mhm.
things like that. You got to get the energy going, your mind, feed your mind, listen to a podcast, read a book, do something for a little while, just any of those things. I like to go through my emails in the morning before I come to the office, or I get to the office early enough that I can go through them before we really start making our calls and such. Because anything that you can clear out, that will keep you from procrastinating later in the day. Like, you don't need to be checking your emails during the most productive part of your day. Just things like that. If whatever you can get done before your work day starts is going to set you up for greater success. I think a lot of us go to the office. I've seen people go to the office and be there for 4 hours at lunchtime. We'll get together and talk about our wins, and like they haven't done anything because maybe they've been checking emails, or they've been
Mm.
taking care of other clerical stuff that, like, you can't call someone at 6 in the morning. You shouldn't. There's laws against that. You can't call them at 10 o'clock at night. That's when I want to be doing my clerical stuff. Just there's so many things you can do to set up yourself for success.
For sure. Yeah, that's very good. Um, if you were to show up to the office, I can tell you what time I've been showing up recently, and it's just because I made a commitment. Is I'm here between 7 to 7:15 now. Why? Scott just said it. Like, I in the morning I wake up at 4:45. I'm able to get some work done. First thing I do when I wake up is I drink a glass of water and I get right on my laptop and start working. I take my shower, I kiss my babies and my wife, and I'm getting to the office now between 7 to 7:15, preferably 7. Okay. Um, and the reason why that's 7 to 7:15 is because sometimes I do talk to my wife and we're in conversation, and so I stay a little longer. But then I'm here at the office, nobody else is here. It feels good, and Scott can attest.
Productive.
It, feel, it feels good being the first in the office, and right now it's dark outside. So there's a different feel to it. Getting to the office and you're turning everything on, right? That gives me a sense of, like, accomplishment,
Yeah.
right? And then now I'm sitting down and I'm able to work. Nobody's here yet. I get a solid 45 to 50 minutes of just dialed in work. I have the music going. And then by the time people start showing up at 8, which is the time I would recommend, be at the office by 8 o'clock. Okay. And give yourself 30 minutes to get settled in before you start making your calls. And but that's important. Getting a time when you're going to commit to being in the office. I show up pretty early. It won't always be that way. It just changes, depends on the
Mhm.
season. You find out what works for you. But here's the key: no later than 9 o'clock. Or I would say for our team, we start at 9:30. No later than 9:30 should you be making your calls.
Yeah. And
Making your
you
calls.
mentioned the big thing about starting your day off feeling empowered. Like, if you can start your day and already feel like
Yep.
I'm not that I when I'm jogging and I see people's lights coming on, they're waking up, and I'm out in the streets already. Like, that's empowering, and you feel like, okay, I've already accomplished something. And you
Yep.
usually want to keep it going. Like, to get up early, go for a jog, and then to go home and go back to sleep. Like, that just sounds weird. And so it goes to show you, start off with a win, and you want to compound that. So that's a
For
big
sure.
deal.
Huge, huge. The rest of your morning, let's say whether it's 8 o'clock, you start calling, 9 o'clock, 9:30. you need to do at least 1 hour per day right now of calling new people, new leads, calling FISBOs, calling expireds, circle prospecting. You're calling and reaching out to people to build a new relationship with these people. At least 1 hour time block per day. And when I mean that 1 hour, I mean really 1 hour. Not I made my first call to start the hour and then
Facebook.
they don't pick up the phone and then I wait 10 minutes to call the next person. So after an hour, I literally called 5 to 8 people. No. I mean, like you are dialed in for that 1 hour. And then after that, at least 1 hour of follow-up. These are just the people you've already spoken to that are in your database that you're nurturing. You need to commit 1 hour a day to making sure. We use a system called Follow-Up Boss, and it tells us who we need to reach out to based on the stage we put them in. 1 hour a day should be all you need to run a great business, to get your smart list cleared, and then you can move on to your appointments, so the admin work. But we're talking 2 hours of work per day. And honestly, for my people who are listening and you're in that slump and you're probably hearing like, oh my God, Anthwon, like, oh, it's heavy. Dude, just commit to 5-6 days a week of 2 hours a day. And I promise you very quickly, you're going to snap out of that. Okay. Cool. And we did kind of miss the role play. Like if you have somebody to role play with, a script or stuff like that, that is healthy as well. I'd recommend it, but you just got to find people to role play with. Or at the bare minimum, before you make your call, read through your script, say it a few times. So then it's kind of like warming up before you get into the game. That'd be a good warm up for you. Cool. All right. Let's just talk about the expectation of the amount of action that is going to be required. Like how much action, how long should we, if we're in a slump, how long should we expect to do this until we start seeing results? So let's unpack that, and then I think that'll be a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think we're very short-sighted, and at the end of the day, even if we've not spoken to one person, we're way too okay with putting the phone down and clocking out. And I look at it as if whatever I do today will get me paid in 30 days at least. And so if you don't talk with someone and set an appointment or whatever, you're kicking, it's 30 days.
Yep.
Like, so you got to stack those up every day. You got to be consistent. And that's when you'll have the best years, when you've got people. I was talking to one of our agents the other day, and he's like, yeah, man, I felt like it was a little slow to start, but now looking forward, like I've got a few more pendings going on right now, but I've got like 5 listings coming up, 1 a month, 2 a month for the next several months. And I was like, and that's going to feel really good because every month you're getting paid. So I think we're too okay with not making that happen. And so you've got to stack it together for months and months. If you want to get that momentum going. Having a pending transaction or 2 pending transactions, we know a percentage of those are going to fall apart. So stack them up, man. If you can get 6 or 7 or 8 or 10, it feels really good to know, like, okay, if the shit hits the fan on this inspection, I'm okay. I'm still going to get paid next week. So you've got to stack them and stack them high, stack them deep, because you never know. And you got to get that momentum. And, when I started my career, I told my family, listen, I'm going to have to walk away from dinner at times when people want to go see houses. I'm going to have to, be gone Saturdays, Sundays in the office at times. And it's not all day. If you structure it well, like you said, a couple hours even can be very productive. I know if I'm sitting in the office for 2 hours on a mid-Saturday morning, I can get a lot done, sometimes more than I could get done on a weekday, just because of people not working or whatever. So
Yep.
I mean, you can't, once you get, like we joke about, we have that gong we ring when we set a consultation. Like a lot of people be on the phone, call. Hey, I set an appointment. They go ring the gong. Done. Like, no, you just had a great success. Keep it going. Stack them up. So
That's good. No, I appreciate the honesty. I mean, it's just real, y'all. Like, and if you really think about it, like I speak for our team, if you're doing 25 to 30 deals a year, you're making close to six figures. If not, depending on where your price point is. Like if you're at average price point and you're doing 30 deals a year, let's say your price point is 250, you're right at six figures or a little more on our team. So we're talking 2 to 3 deals a month that we're closing, right? So if you really think about it, can you consistently never go below 2 deals a month, but you may have 2 to 3 months a year where you close 4 to 5?
mm-hmm.
Because of what Scott mentioned, you stacked up those pendings, right? And you did the work in having a very fruitful pipeline. And I know a lot of people like just want steady income in real estate. Because I know 5 years of steady income of $85,000 a year or $100,000 a year can change your life. It really can. Like, especially if you're in a 2-person household, 2 incomes. That's huge. So all we're saying is you can have that. You can avoid the roller coaster by just taking massive inspired action. Scott is correct. You can start seeing results in 30 days, but you should expect for it to take 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
That should be your mindset, for it to take 90 days before you start getting results. Just very clear. You don't have to work yourself to death. You just got to be more intentional. You got to make sure your expectations are clear. More importantly, get your mind right. Okay. Because when your mindset is off, all this that we just told you is going to seem overwhelming. If it seems overwhelming, your mindset is off. If you're like, oh my God, this is too much, guys, it can never be me, your mindset is off. So I really want you to understand that you have everything you need. Go out, take action, and you can get back on track. Scott said within 30 days, 100%, but you got to be dialed in. You got to start showing up and literally start today. Start today.
Yeah. And when I say 30 days, I guess I mean like I'm out showing houses to people that are pre-approved, ready to go. And if I write an offer today, then I'll get paid in 30. But we know it takes a lot of talking to some people, some clients, to get them to get their credit scores up, to even have the mindset of I can buy a house. I think sometimes we have to convince people of that. There's too many people that think buying a houses is for someone else, not me. And so we have to do a lot of nurturing. So I just know, like, if I'm out showing houses today, the soonest I'll get paid is 30 days, but more likely longer than that.
Yep. And again, the more we're going to end with this. And Scott, like, this is so good. I think we can go on for another 2 hours. Like, I honestly feel like we're just scratching the surface as far as like getting our message through. But we're gonna end it with this. I believe in lucky days. I do. Some people are like, I don't believe in luck. I don't believe. Listen, if you want to have more lucky days in your life, then show up and take action every day. You will never know if you get a lucky day if you are inconsistent in your work. That's how you get more lucky days. Oh, guess what happened, Anthwon and Scott? What happened? 3 people called me today and they said they want me to list their house today. They want to go on the market as soon as possible. That's a lucky day. You would not have gotten that if you weren't putting in the work days prior consistently. So just Everything that we told you, start with the mindset, follow your daily plan, very simple. Take massive inspired action and expect for it to take 90 days, while understanding it could take as soon as 30, because you'll get more lucky days the more action you take. And the next thing you know, you'll be out of your slump and you'll be sharing your experience and your testimony to somebody else that needs to hear that's in a slump. And that's what this is all about. So cool. We're going to wrap it up because we're over 45 minutes. And like I said, we can keep going. And I'm sure you guys would see it valuable to have Scott on more podcasts in the future. So we're going to get that on the books. But Scott, if somebody had questions, they see you and they hear your message and are like, you know what, I want to learn more. I want to find a way to be better. And I really resonate with Scott. Like, how can people reach you?
Very easy. And yes, I always, I even think we should post our daily, our daily routines on here somewhere in comments, or, if they want to get a hold of us and ask us that, I'll absolutely send what we do, because you have to have a plan. But my email address is Scott, SCOTT at SLREG.com, as in Silver Lining Real Estate Group. And my number is 765-427-2982. That's my personal direct number. So I'm always willing. Gosh, I'm just so hungry to talk about, what we do, because it does, man, it's changed my life. And, I always think, like, how bad do you have to hate someone to not want them to succeed? And so, yeah, I'd love to talk about this stuff.
For sure. And Scott is very active on social media too. So the Scott Foltz on Facebook. I think it's the same thing on Instagram. Is that right?
I don't remember.
What
it's close. Facebook, I'm sure you can find me.
Yeah, find him on Facebook. He's super active. He's sharing a lot of good stuff. And again, I like that idea, Scott. If you want to know more, and by the way, be on the lookout for some webinars that me and Scott do to give back to the real estate community as well. But if you want a breakdown of a fruitful, we call it the millionaire schedule, let us know. We'll be able to help you out. We'll send it over to you in a PDF via email. Again, we're committed to helping you guys grow. So cool. Y'all know where to find me. Like, comment, subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating if possible. If this was trash, give us a 1-star. All feedback is good feedback. And like I said, y'all go out there, take the action, start with the mindset. Make sure you got your scheduled out in. Follow it every single day. Take massive inspired action. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.